about neo-Nazi video that was posted on YouTube. The video is of real murder that was captured by a bunch of neo-Nazis back in Russia in 2007, and they post on YouTube, and it's a beheading, and it's a double murder. There was two guys that have been murdered. One is beheaded and one is shot in the head. And me and my friends, we decided to investigate the case. That's what the film is about. The Russian police, they claimed for a long time that the video was fake. And if you watch the video, I am not recommending to watch the video because it's horrible, but for those who watched the video, especially kids, it was like, it's a real thing. So there always that question why Russians insist that it was fake, like authorities. I don't talk about the general population. It's because it's clear that it was a real footage. So there is this red flag question, why they insist that it is fake. And from that question, that's where it all began, I guess. And then at some point, it became more personal for me. Because once you meet the family and you know, all along the journey, there's these little red flags that pop up. And eventually I was like dragged into it. But I guess at some point that it's not that I chose to investigate this case. I think this case chose me to investigate itself. Because on some, you know, spiritual level, let's say. There's many neo-Nazi groups in Russia. I started with just a list of all the leaders. And throughout the years, it took me 6 years, I narrowed the pile of suspects to just basically one group. So it's for Russian leaders and for Russian neo-Nazis who are really understand what's going on, it's not a big secret who did it. The big secret is why it was never investigated. This to the family by one of the journalists in Russia. She wrote, it's a very famous journalist, Yulia Latin. She visited the family back in 2008 and she spoke with them. And I read her article about it. And I didn't tell them. I was just another, for the family, I was just another guy that asks questions. I never told them that I'm going to go deep into that. For them, I'm just, you know, one of the reporters. There were a few. I mean, because, you know, I didn't want them to be involved in this, because they have enough trouble. They've been harassed by police to keep quiet, not to ask questions. At some point, the police said them to the father, and he's like 70 years old, living in a rural a village in Dagestan. He was told by the police to go investigate. If you want to investigate the murder of your son, go do it yourself. And that's some, you know, and that's another red flag. I mean, you know, come on. It can be brutal, but not that brutal. I mean, he's 70 years old. He's not going to do that. You know, he has another kids to raise. And he lived back then. It was a village. Then they didn't even have internet. You know, so the police knew that he's just can't. He's incapable of doing that. You know. But there was like humor all over the film, I guess, because, you know, my friend Shrovi is very funny, and he's like, you know, he's hilarious, and he's kind of a clown and a prophet and a saint in one person. He's, for me, is like, you know, the metaphor for Russian, for ultimate Russian guy. He's like, you know, he says the smartest and the funniest stuff, and I love him. He's incredible. I think he's the real hero of the film in a sense, because he went to major transformation, psychologically wise, from the beginning to end. Because in the end, he realizes that it's not about me as a foreigner investigating this case. It's about it. It had to be done by him, or from someone from inside within his society, not from the foreigner, not by the foreigner. Because that's their matter. That's Russian matter. That someone from their society killed and no one investigated. So Shiravi is an incredible guy. He's like, I mean, it's 1 to the billion. It's very rare flower.